Welcome to TNC, where I spill the tea and we see how we can learn from it. I am your host, TeaSea, and let's start the tea session today titled The Chocolate Theory and People Pleasing. The tea today is one about me, so let's get into it. I remember being considered one of the popular ones in kindergarten as a toddler. Then primary school came and I was hammered down for being loud as a girl. It took me a while, but I came to the point where I seriously would read WikiHows on how to make people like you at the age of 9. And I put these tips into action and went perhaps a little bit too overboard about it. When anyone in my vicinity dropped a pen or eraser in class, I would rush to pick it up before they did. When I really wanted to get closer to a cool classmate who was already my friend, I excitedly volunteered to carry her school bag for her in the morning. I would help the same people who ostracized me with mathematical concepts that they could not understand. Fast forward to now. Now, I am still a recovering people pleaser. It is so easy to become a people pleaser when you are socialized at a young age that to be kind is to say yes to everything, to everyone, even people who you detest. It is so easy to become a people pleaser when people seem to be nicer to you in that moment after you do something for them. It is so easy to just force a smile because arguing or standing your ground with clear words and accepting rejection from people is much more difficult. Let's bring in a theory that really accelerated my growth to grow out of being a people pleaser. I am not sure where I heard this from, as I first heard of this more than a decade ago and can't really remember the source of this. I believe that this theory has helped me a lot, and it has been pretty useful to friends who I've tried comforting. So I hope that this theory of mine can be useful to you too. Now, let's think of chocolate. What kind of chocolate do you like? Dark and rich, or milk chocolate, or do you like white chocolate? Or do you only like the taste of it in desserts like ice cream or cupcakes? No matter the form, chocolate or chocolate flavor is beloved by many, right? We hear of dog owners giving dogs chocolate as their last snack before being euthanized because they believe that no dog can live life without having tasted chocolate. Because chocolate is toxic for dogs. We hear of people who go to developing countries and give sweets to children, being proud of themselves that they gave these children their first taste of chocolate. Everyone deserves to have tasted chocolate, they say. From these stories, you could pretty much gather that many people love chocolate, right? But even chocolate has haters. You can't deny the fact that there are people who don't appreciate the taste of chocolate. So, this begs the question, why do you expect to be loved by every single person in your life? Why are you being so hard on yourself? I recently came across this TikTok video from Caskin White, posted on the 17th of August, 2024, that his opinion is that it is perhaps a good thing to be disliked. And I do agree with it. Just like how even chocolate has haters, it is almost impossible to not have any haters at all. If you don't agree with me, if you think that you are loved by everyone, you might just be pushing yourself into a different mold to meet different people's expectations. Because out of all these people who exist in your life, there must be some people out of all these people who have distinctly opposing views. Okay, this might not be the best example, but let's say, how can you be a genuine friend to both friend A and friend B when you know that friend A spread untrue rumors about friend B? In my previous episode, I talked about how you do have to sometimes take sides when it comes to your friends having arguments to actually be a genuine friend. Now, to be a truly good friend, how can you watch as friend A is being mean to friend B? How can you just watch on the sidelines as friend B is suffering and still call yourself a good friend? Is that true love as a friend? Is that true platonic love? Another reason that I say being hated might be good is that sometimes people who are still insecure may hate others out of envy. They want something that you have, but they just can't see themselves having that something yet. In an ideal society, we would all be healed and we wouldn't hate others to bring them down because we see them doing better than us. But unfortunately, we are just not there as of this moment in time. We as a society are just not ready. And I know it can be painful, confusing, or frustrating when you see someone you think you've never offended and have only loved as a friend show you that they absolutely hate you. It took me a long time to learn to be more okay with that. To be more okay with someone who you have never been mean to, who you have never had any ill intentions towards. Look at you and show you that they absolutely hate you. But hey, maybe you can be better than me. Maybe you can unlearn your people-pleasing habits much faster than me. So, my chocolate theory is that even chocolate has haters. There is a bit of courage and boldness actually in telling yourself that you can make people like you more than they like chocolate. In telling yourself that you can make every single person love you. That's really bold. We are, after all, just a speck in the universe. Who are we to assume that if we people please perfectly, every single person that we come into contact with will really like us? Remember, even chocolate has haters. We can't please everyone. It is okay to have haters. It is good to learn to be more comfortable with people showing us that they do not like us, just as chocolate is perfectly fine having haters. Chocolate still tastes the same having haters. The chocolate industry is booming, and many people still purchase those chocolate products with the fair trade logos, even if those might be at a higher price. The fans of chocolate are willing to pay for chocolate. So even if chocolate has haters, the essence of chocolate, the taste of chocolate doesn't change. Even if you have haters, who you are at your core, your essence doesn't change. You don't have any less value just because you have haters. Just like the value of chocolate does not diminish just because there are people who don't like chocolate. We can't please everybody in the world. Even chocolate has haters. It is okay not to please every single person we meet at the cost of our self-respect and comfort. We have to learn to portion or redirect some of that energy that we give to others for ourselves. Now, are you still not convinced that people pleasing is not necessarily bad for you? Sometimes, as we people please and do things for people, there will be people who will take advantage of us as just a robot who would do the grunt work for them without complaining. Is this a successful case of people pleasing? You might think that this still achieves your goal of pleasing them, but this does not make them like you. This might objectify you because they see you as a tool to get what they want, a tool that doesn't complain, a tool that they see as just a tool. They don't see you as a human being. When we were younger, many of us were promised that the pure, good princess would win the hearts of both her prince and the whole kingdom and live happily ever after. If you are good, and I say this with inverted commas, if you are good in the way of being docile, being silent, in a way of not taking up too much space, in the way of molding yourself and cutting out pieces of yourself to fit into other people's molds, other people's expectations, beliefs, and feelings, it does nothing for you. If I remember correctly, in an earlier version of Cinderella, her stepsisters cut off their toe or like the back of their heel to fit their feet into Cinderella's slippers. But did they win the prince? They didn't. So just because you torture yourself to fit into this mold doesn't mean that you will definitely gain the favor of people who you want to people please. You have to learn to accept that it's okay, that I am valuable. I want people who value me too. I am not going to beg for people to value me. I'm going to appreciate the people who value me. Being good in this way does nothing for you. Being good in this way just makes us more susceptible to manipulation. This innocent goodness that we give to others at the expense of ourselves only makes us easy to betray, easy to manipulate, easy to be treated as less than. At the same time, this innocent goodness that this society has shaped us to have causes us to lie there in a pool of blood with our scars and wounds while we watch the so-called bad people get what they want. They get what they want because they speak up for themselves. They get what they want because they decided not to melt themselves down just to provide light for others. It's complicated, it's nuanced, but we do have to learn that sometimes the only person who will put you first might very well only be yourself. And I'm not saying that you should all be utterly selfish, but I'm saying that you do have to realize and learn for yourself what makes you uncomfortable and how you can react to people crossing your boundaries in a way that protects both yourself and others. You can only love others as much as you love yourself. This goes both ways. Others can only know you as deeply as they know themselves. I think there's a saying that's been popular recently by Matt Kahn that says the same thing. People can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. People can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. Rather than always putting your needs second or even last, learn to be kind to yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to respect yourself. No one can help you along this journey as much as you can. It's good to be good, but it's not good to be good blindly. Okay? Now, to make them really like you, because people pleasers seem to want people to like us, right? To make them really like you, you have to have them see you as a human being just like them. You have to have them respect you as a human being with wants and needs. To have them respect you, you have to first respect yourself. Because why would they respect you when they don't see you respect yourself? When their needs are always put above yours, what gives them the incentive? Why would they care to be nice to you when you would be nice to them anyway? It is good to be good, but don't be good blindly. It is good to be good, but we have to leave our limited energy to be good only to those who deserve it. And you definitely deserve it. So it's good to be good to yourself first, and to be good to people who deserve it second. Now, chocolate is really popular, but even chocolate has haters. It can be a good sign to have insecure haters, because this just says that you must have something that they don't. Anti-fans are fans too. It means that you're inspiring, but your light is so bright that it blinds them and they're scared of it. You don't have to please everyone. The first person you should prioritize pleasing should always be yourself. Once you learn how to love yourself, to respect yourself, you will have this magnetic pull. Friends and allies who are not afraid of your bright light will follow you. As they watch you love yourself, they'll be like, why is this person so confident? I want to be friends with her. So people will be drawn to your bright light as soon as along your journey, as you learn to love yourself, as you learn to respect yourself. People will follow you as you unlearn people-pleasing tendencies and learn to set strong boundaries to protect yourself. I hope you enjoyed the tea today. In a bid for learning to unlearn people-pleasing tendencies, I hope that you can think it over and reflect on how you have reacted when someone did something that made you feel uncomfortable. How did it happen? How did you react? How did others react? Think of the first situation that comes to mind. I would like for you to journal and write down your resolve for yourself to act in a different way. By doing this, you are making a promise with yourself. Or if you are spiritual or religious, you are making a pact with the universe or your religion that you have decided to stand up for yourself. Even if it is as simple as redirecting the conversation instead of a straight no. Not all of us are in a situation where we are safe to reject people directly, after all. And change does not happen overnight. It is okay to be gentle to yourself and let yourself learn how to change bit by bit. So do leave your stories in the comments and I'll be reading them. This is the end of this tea session and I look forward to meeting you again. Until next time, bye bye.